Knowledge management. Knowledge management. How do we really manage knowledge? Well, today we are going to find out. Knowledge management is the process which involves the collecting, organizing, sharing, and analyzing of specific information used to support decision making and to enhance work practices. Today we speak with Marcia Mackenzie, and she will tell us all we need to know about knowledge management. Welcome to the MOFPS Coffee and Conversations, where we talk about the policies with the people who develop them. I am your host, Colleen Cohen. Let's take several sips of coffee and have a conversation with Marcia Mackenzie, Director, Knowledge Management and Data Analysis. Hi, Marcia. Welcome to Coffee and Conversations.
Thank you, Colleen. I'm wonderful.
Awesome. So, Marcia, I want you to tell me a little bit about yourself and what your job here at the ministry entails.
Well, I am part of the Corporate Planning and Administration Division. The Knowledge Management and Data Analysis Unit that was established a year ago, June 1, and I am head of that unit, and it only consists of just myself right now, but we're hoping to grow as we go along.
Okay, great. So tell me about the significance of knowledge management.
Well, knowledge management, as it says, it's a process which involves how we collect, how we organize, how we analyze, but mostly how we use and share information and make it useful to become knowledge.
Okay.
And so part of my remit is to ensure that how we organize the information, persons can use it to inform decision making, as well as how we do our operations here at the ministry.
I'm curious to know though, why does the ministry need a knowledge management program at this time?
The ministry, as you know, Colleen, it has a plethora of data, of information, whether it's in boxes, in files, in Excel, in networks. And so a lot of that information is very useful, but we have not yet harnessed it in a way that we can use it to our benefit. And so what knowledge management wants to do, or is mandated to do, is to this is why we have, for instance, the analysis part of that portfolio. It's to garner the data, collect the data, organize it, translate that into information, and that information, how persons use it, will make it become knowledge.
All right. I'm also curious to know, is it only the staff here at the ministry who can access this information, or staff from other ministries or the regular Jamaican can access this knowledge that you'll be sharing?
For right now, it is for the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service. As we go along and as it becomes more mature, we will see where we go from there. But right now, what we're trying to use is the organizational documents to see how we can use those to inform strategic decision making,
right.
Speed up some of the decisions that we make, and also how we can improve some of our operational processes.
Right. Also, tell me, how can the staff here at the ministry benefit from the knowledge management program?
The staff here, really, they are not just knowledge users, but they're knowledge creators as well. A lot of the documents that are created right here. As we go along, we will see that persons can use the information to inform their career path, for instance. They can look, for instance, at my job. It's a knowledge management job. The data that we collect in knowledge management and translate into a report, it can tell you, for instance, how many years to retirement is the data director. And then persons can say, oh, well, I perhaps want to plan for that post, for that position.
Right.
And so on the knowledge management system, they will be able to, for instance, access my job description.
Right.
And they can see what are some of the competencies and the qualifications that are necessary. And they can now plan their career path to say, well, in X years, this director will be gone, and I'm preparing myself just in the event that this is the career path that I want to take. So they can use it even at that level. At the strategic level, again, we say it informs policies, it informs strategies. Using the same example, if, for instance, HR M&D wants to look at, say, the retirement profile of persons, they can see that they can prepare their whether it's a recruitment strategy, a succession planning strategy. So the information, because it's harnessed in a particular way, they can use that to inform the types of decisions they make.
Okay, lovely. So tell me, what would be considered as knowledge content here at the ministry?
Knowledge content for right now, and we're sticking to organizational type documents, not just documents, but also other types of artifacts, videos, and so on. We're looking at organizational policies, not necessarily public policies, but organizational policies, organizational business processes, because we want to ensure that we can share these across divisions and not having to work in silos with just what we do, but we're able to see what any other division does.
So you're saying that divisional SOPs will fall under your
right, in terms of how we organize it for persons to see across, because what we're getting assistance with from the Enterprise Content Management Unit is a repository where we can put all that information.
Right.
So anybody within the institution can look and see what other divisions do and how it fits into their job as well.
Right. You have shared so much, but I can't remember if you had shared how can staff access this knowledge that you're talking about. Is it on a website? Well, tell us about the access.
So what we're trying to do now is that there will be a link on the new intranet page.
Yes.
And they just click on that link. It will take them to a knowledge content database. And they do just like what they would do a Google search. You put in a word or you look through the documents and it will just come up and you can view, you can even download in some aspect, in some respect.
Okay, great. All right. I want you now to tell me what are some of the queries you have received on a daily basis.
Right now, the majority of the queries is on the types of data that we analyze. And so a lot of the data that we analyze is human resource related. So as I was sharing with you before, the MyHR Plus database, it has everything on the human resource aspect of the organization. And so if we want to do an analysis of, how persons that are resigning, the frequency of the types of posts, the age range of persons that are leaving, and so on. That's the type of information we are now able to analyze. And so that type of reporting will also form part of the knowledge content and available on the internet.
Nice. All right, I want you to tell us, because you have shared quite a lot about knowledge management. What are 3 things you want the staff to know about knowledge management and data analysis?
It will assist them in working smarter, because and quicker, because you won't have to be looking all over the place types of information. It will be in a common repository. And so if you're able, for instance, to see the business processes for not just your division, but others, it will assist you in working smarter instead of working harder. So this is how it will help as well.
Okay, great. My all-important question, Marcia. What makes your branch excellent?
Well, I wouldn't say that we are on the path to excellence, because we're a new branch, we're a fledgling branch. What I would consider excellence or service excellence is, 1, if we become solutions driven. 2, if we have this mutual respect across, it doesn't matter who it is, we just have that mutual respect. So those are two of the key things that I can think of right now. We have to be consistent. So we can't have, for instance, today you get a good service, but tomorrow, Marcia is not in a good mood, so nobody bother her today for information. It has to be consistent.
Yeah.
So it has to be solutions driven. It has to be consistent, and we must have that mutual respect for each other.
Finally, what does service excellence mean to you?
For me, service excellence, when I think about the core values, the FIT team, and when I think about the tenets of the service excellence drive, what I would want to see, for me, service excellence is when we take those off the walls and have them walking in the halls. So we become those values, we become those tenets. And that for me is when we have achieved or attained service excellence.
Marcia, you have done well. Thank you so much for joining us inside Coffee and Conversations. It was a pleasure sharing with you. I've learned so much about knowledge management, and definitely I will be checking out the MOFPS new intranet to learn more about knowledge management. Do you have any questions about knowledge management? Send an email to marcia.mckenzie@mof.gov.jm. And thank you for tuning into this episode of MOFPS Coffee and Conversations, where we talk about the policies with the people who develop them. I am Colleen. See you next time. If you haven't checked us out yet or been following us on social media, be sure to do so. We are on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and now TikTok. Search for @MOF Jamaica or the Ministry of Finance Jamaica.